Hello, welcome to Rulebreakers, the unfiltered podcast where we get real with people who refuse to follow the script. Today's guest is the ultimate rebel of comedy, Brad Williams. Hell yeah, cheers. We need to insert cheers here. From turning personal challenges into unapologetic stand-up to saying the things most people are too scared to even think. Brad's built a career on breaking boundaries. We're talking wild gigs, joke that never made it to the stage, and what it's really like being married to a ninja. Get ready for some laughs, some truths, and a whole lot of rule breaking, baby. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. It's the first time that we get to really meet each other, even though we've been chatting it up since 2020, maybe something like that.
That's right. Back when I raised accidentally a bunch of money for a kid that was being bullied, that the internet then said was 40 and a billionaire.
Yes. Oh my
what
gosh.
The heck?
Was that actually true?
No.
Oh, yeah. I saw the internet kind of turn. Okay, so
I'll go back.
Okay,
so if you remember in 2020, before the pandemic, there was a child, actual child from Australia named Caden Bales, and he has dwarfism, and he was being bullied, and his mom took a video, and he was crying. It was really heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking, and I just said, hey, I want to raise some money to send the kid to Disneyland, and I put up a GoFundMe. And then I went to bed, and then. The next day, I have Hugh Jackman in my DMs.
That's pretty badass.
Right.
I love you, Hugh.
That was interesting, and we ended up raising $500,000, and we were going crazy. And you contacted me to try to get him into WrestleMania and everything like that. It was very generous of you. At the end of the day, him and his family ended up refusing the money, and they ended up dividing it to a bunch of anti-bullying charities.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Right, it's great.
What
But
guy.
then the internet found like one photo of him in front of a Lamborghini and said, he's rich. And I'm sitting there like, he's a dwarf. He can't even drive that thing.
Yeah.
We can't drive Lamborghini. Stick shifts, very difficult. They had to add a third pedal. It's all complicated. So yeah, that was my controversy, is that I raised money for a bullied kid that the internet thought was 50 and a billionaire. All right,
okay,
cool.
but is that your biggest controversy, or is that other
Sure.
controversies?
Yeah, let's go. I think so. I don't know. We're comedians. We say things, and some people take things and go nuts. Some people get mad, but I'm telling you, and this is maybe not good for a podcast called Rule Breakers, but really there's a lot of comedians out there that are like, it's cancel culture. We can't say.
Yeah.
No, we're good. If you could look at a bunch of comedians that have been canceled, it's like, oh, it's Shane Gillis, it's Louis C.K., it's Dave Chappelle. They're all doing arenas.
Yeah.
So by all means, cancel me, please.
Right. Do you think you have a little bit of privilege being a smaller person?
Yes.
I don't know the correct term to use without being fucking canceled here.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Yeah.
Proper term, just so you know.
Yeah.
We prefer little people or dwarves. Some people don't like dwarves. I don't know. You're just not supposed to say midget.
Okay. Do you think that when it comes to your jokes and people being so sensitive, you can be able to get away with it a little bit more?
I do. Because okay, so you have two pit bulls and then you have a chihuahua. So the chihuahua can get away with a lot more than the pit bulls.
That's true.
Because if you're on a walk and your pit bull bites someone, well, now you got to call animal control. There's a whole thing. But if the chihuahua bites someone, it's like, it's a chihuahua. You're fine. And I feel like that's kind of how it is with my comedy, where if someone of average height says something, then it's like, oh man. But then if I say it, it's like, he's cute.
He can get away with it. It's like
fine.
British people saying like swear words or something. Everyone always thinks it's way
come
cute.
on.
Like, oh, you cunt.
There you go. I was about like, let it fly. Let the C word fly for you.
But with your comedy now in today's climate, do you think you have to hold back, or are you saying fuck it and then you just do whatever you want?
So I always look to what is my brand, or what am I trying to do with my comedy? Am I trying to entertain? For some people, their comedy is very aggressive, and that's kind of what they're known for. And if they want to do that, awesome. My thing is, I want to make sure you have a good time.
Yeah.
I want to make sure you have fun. I don't care who you voted for. I don't care what your beliefs are. I want to make sure you have fun at my shows. So there are times where I've actually rewritten jokes because I was like, ooh, that's too harsh, and that's not what I want to
Yeah.
do. But that's my choice. I am a vehement freedom of speech activist. So
I love you. Yeah.
freedom of speech should be not just the speech that I agree with, but also the speech that I don't agree with. You should.
Right.
So on my last special called Starfish, which is now streaming on YouTube, there was a joke that I made about the Bud Light trans spokesperson.
Oh, yeah.
I had two versions of that joke. The first version I wrote, I did not like. It got a laugh. I didn't like the laugh it got.
I did research on that. You said something about the different laughs.
Yeah.
And that there's aggressive laughs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the laugh I got, the first version of the joke, which I'll just tell it because it's not online. The first version I wrote was, oh, Bud Light should have a trans spokesperson because Bud Light, you tell us it's beer. We're supposed to call it beer.
Okay. Yeah.
But is it actually beer? That was the first version of the joke. And then I said that, it got a laugh, but the laugh was more like, yeah. I'm like, whoa.
Everyone calm down.
Okay. Let me rewrite this. And I rewrote it, and the version that ended up on Starfish, I actually like better. Long way of saying, yes, I do believe that sometimes I can get away with a little bit more because it's coming from such an adorable source.
So your feet kicking up just then too. Like, ooh.
Yeah. Prop comedy, everybody.
love
And
you.
the fact that my pants don't cover my. Yeah, I got a little showing a little Robin Williams leg right there. At the same time, it's also where it's coming from. I think if people look at my entire catalog or listen to an interview on a podcast, they'll know I'm not trying to hurt. That is not my
Nothing's malicious. Nothing's
I'm not trying to start a rally where it's like, yeah, we should be kicking them out. Like I'm not that guy. So yeah, dwarves and rallies. We don't do well in a rally. Podiums. Too high. I can't speak. Anyway, and then like it's the crowd walking. I'm not good with that. I'm too low. I don't do general admission. Too many farts. It's just right there.
I love that you're a person that cares about free speech. Like, listen, I'm not left, I'm not right, or whatever. There obviously is a line where what you can and can't say, like, obviously.
I care more about how you treat a waiter or a waitress than how you voted.
Yeah.
I really do.
Have you ever done a joke where it's completely failed?
Oh, of
course. Have you like had a hecklers? Great. Like obviously you get hecklers, and I feel like the current climate right now is like comedians that you see on like TikTok comedians, I like to call them.
Sure.
Their social that they put up is all just heckle comedy, pretty much.
Which I'm not a fan of.
Right.
Because
so,
then
like,
people see it and they go, oh, that's what stand-up is. So then when I go to the show, I'm going to yell stuff out. I've had numerous hecklers. 2 brawls in the audience. That was fun.
2 brawls? Wait, hang on
brawls.
a second. Sorry. Because of you?
One was because of me.
What are you doing up there?
The other was not. The one that was because of me, I did a joke how a lot of people, this is like 15 years ago, so a lot of people used to confuse me for Wee Man from Jackass. But
I saw that, and Dylan
I didn't
too,
have the
right?
beard.
Yeah.
And Dylan Hornswoggle, and now Dinklage. It's like there's always one. There's always one dwarf. We're like Highlanders. Like there's just one.
You guys don't even look alike though. Like none of you look alike.
So I did a joke about how I'm not Wee Man and how Wee Man's his real last name is Acuna, and I'm like, so like he's Mexican. I'm not Mexican. I said something like a Mexi midget. I said something about I didn't even know they had Mexican midgets. How do they get over the fence? Did that, and a guy very drunk just stood up and yelled at me, "Fuck you! I'm not Mexican." And I was like, what?
We're not talking about you, brother. Like what?
He was like, I'm not fucking Mexican, and then he started like coming towards the stage and like trying to brawl people, and that's when that's when the fans jumped in, security jumped in, and it was like I did.
You're kind of like a wrestler, because people get crazy in the crowd.
Yeah,
that's wild.
That was the one that was, I guess, my fault, even though it wasn't. The other one, this one was more fun. It was at the Comedy Works in Denver, which is maybe the best club in the country. A guy's girlfriend in the audience decided to reveal during my show that she was cheating on him with a friend that was also at the show with them. And
oh my God, Jerry Springer on the show?
So this was in the back of the club. I had no idea what was going on. It wasn't like a big announcement.
Holy
she
shit.
just like, I found out later that the cheater was trying to like hold her hand, and then the guy saw it.
Oh my God.
Brawl, glasses thrown,
That's crazy.
just a whole thing. And I'm just, and I had to stay on stage and just kind of continue. So
you don't stop. You're just like, anyway.
One of the many reasons why I feel like wrestlers and comedians get along is the mentality of the show must go on.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
You break a leg. Okay, what's the finish?
Yeah, exactly.
I've had fire alarm one time in Hartford, Connecticut that went on, and then I had to, but they wouldn't shut it off. They would not shut it off. It was still going. I had to continue with a fire alarm going off.
Yeah.
And then I had to, I was timing my jokes so the punchlines would go after a, and then I would and then the punchline. So that was difficult. So yeah, it's just the show must go on. You do any job long enough, you'll get into any scenario imaginable, and you learn.
Yeah,
you
do
learn
you cut
tricks.
it short though when something starts going?
Very offensive to say that to a dwarf. Very triggered
This is why
right
your
now.
comedians are so quick-witted, dude. Oh my god, I'm not fast enough. Okay.
No, I always try to give people the full show. There was a blackout one time. I had everyone hold up the cell phone lights, and then I didn't have a microphone. I just screamed at them.
So everyone had to be dead quiet holding these lights up.
And then the next day I had no voice. But yeah, you just kind of keep going. Like when comedians get together, we don't talk about, played Madison Square Garden and it went great and I'm so awesome. No, we get together, we talk about the hell gigs. We talk about the worst possible shows,
the offensive jokes that you get to say with each other,
and then how we triumph despite of that. I imagine, coming up through wrestling, you have hell gigs, you have gigs in front of 5 people, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when I first started, that's exactly how it was. Like my first match that I had, it was in front of like 8 people,
wow.
and then I got knocked the fuck out too. And I was
you
like,
got knocked out.
I love this. Yeah.
In your first match?
In my first, I was awful. I was truly so bad. So something happened. I can't remember what it was. I just remember being on my back and like my leg doing this in the air, like as someone's pinning me.
Still talking about a match?
Yeah. So I'm on my back, with my legs in the air, and I was like, I love this. I love it.
You find something you love. And what's amazing is, I'm sure you get this too, is when I describe to people what it is to be a comedian and to travel as many weeks of the year that I travel, and to be on as many planes and to be in hotels and all the mozzarella sticks, so many mozzarella sticks. There's a lot of people that just goes, oh my God, that sounds like a nightmare. Like if you describe to people who aren't wrestlers what it is to be a wrestler, I'm sure a lot of them are like, wait, that's what it is?
I always say don't.
Yeah.
Don't be a wrestler.
It's not for everybody. No. And that's okay. Yeah. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be for you. That's why I'm doing it and you're not.
Yeah, exactly.
It's great. You do whatever it is you do. You be a systems analyst. Totally fine.
Have you ever had like a weird interaction? I mean, we've all had weird interactions, but is there a story where you're like, this stands out?
Oh, yeah. Okay. So the one that stands out more than others, I came back to my hotel room. There was a woman in my hotel room. And I did not know who this woman was.
Wait, she managed to get inside your hotel room?
Because we found out
Did
later.
your ninja wife kick her ass?
This is before I met my wife, unfortunately.
Oh, okay, fuck.
But we found out later that she went to the front desk, told the front desk that she was my wife and that she had lost her hotel room key. And she knew a lot about me. And they were like, cool, you sound like a wife.
These fucking hotels, dude.
And gave her a key. So she was just waiting in my hotel room when I got back. And it was like, hi.
So what did you do though? Like what happened?
You mean be like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, get the fuck out of it, bitch.
And then she's like, I just want to talk with her. And I'm just like, cool. Slam the door, run downstairs and be like, there's a woman in my hotel room that is not a woman that I wanted to be in my hotel room. And that incident gave me so much more respect for female comedians and what they have to go through and female wrestlers. Because it's like, you have guys that believe that they are in a full-fledged relationship with you and have never met.
Oh, I have some stories, dude. Like just going back to the hotel, which is they give you a new room, right? Did you go somewhere else?
Yeah.
New room,
new room,
the front desk,
whole everything.
The hotels, especially, like sometimes they would let the fans call up to my room and shit. So I'm like, you're
trying to sleep.
Yeah, and they're calling and constantly fucking calling. And then there was another time, so it was me and Foxy, Alicia Fox, and we were in buttfuck fucking nowhere, dude. It's like the sticks. Like we were going from town to town. We tried to like go halfway because the drive was like 5 hours. So we get to this like little hotel, and then it's in this parking lot, and then there's like a dive bar on the other side of it.
Sure.
So me and Foxy was like, all right, let's go put our stuff in the rooms, and then we'll go get a drink, little nightcap, right? So we're like, fuck yeah. And that's the best part. It's like, you get to have a little drinky, and you're like, finally at this time of night.
Yeah.
Sober now, guys, calm down. Fucking hell, they'll criticize me for saying anything about alcohol.
Hey, back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. So then we're there for maybe like an hour, maybe two, right? And then we get back to the hotel, and there's police cars. And we're just like, what the fuck is going on? You know? And then I get in, and the front desk lady was just like, do you have a wrestling like name or whatever? And I was just like, what do you mean? She was like, do you go into Page by chance? And I'm like, yeah, I do actually. She was like, there's this crazed fucking man. He apparently had followed us from the arena to where we stopped. And he's running through the hotel, kicking people's doors and shit like that, trying to get to me. So like the police ended up taking him, obviously. And they were like, what do you want to do? The police was like, do you want to go to a different hotel? There's not another hotel for like hours away. So what we did is I got put in a new room, and then the police had to stay there. It's just crazy. People don't understand when you're in the public eye, like, yes, it's wonderful. We're very grateful. We get to do wonderful things. We get to travel, we get to see the world, we get to meet new people, we get to do what we love, right? Yeah. But it comes with a fucking crazy territory, dude. Like,
it does.
It's like
I'm at the point now where I'm at the perfect level of fame. I don't want to get any more famous.
That's the thing, right? Like
people like rich and famous,
Kylie
like no.
Jenner status.
No.
Oh my, I cannot imagine.
No, I want to be right now. Like I was just at Knott's Berry Farm, which is a theme park over here in SoCal. Brought the family. Everyone that came up to me was very kind. My rule is with the family, no photos. But they all understood.
No photos.
They all understood. But then some of the people were so nice that as soon as like my wife and kid went on a ride, I'd be like, okay, now you're good. Now you're good. Get over here. You know, because these people are the people that pay our bills. So
yes,
you always want to reward the people that are really sweet, very nice. But yeah, perfect level of fame. If I get too much more, I don't know.
Whoa, you are getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Once again, very triggering to say to a little person. I'm not.
Sorry.
Jeez, you are horrible.
Oh my
today.
God, fucking cancel me now. You've always done really well, but it's like it's got to a point now where things are fucking like skyrocketing.
It's pretty great.
Yeah, and like he just reached 1 million followers, which you guys, social media and being a man on social media is a lot harder for men to get followers, in my fucking opinion, right? And
Thank
so
you.
like women, we can get those things by posting some things that we grind and stuff like that, of course. But for a man, it's like it's a little bit more difficult. So the fact that you reached 1 million and like
I can't just throw a pre-filter on my face, do one of these, and then get some followers.
You're hilarious. Like me and the team yesterday were going through like your Instagram and stuff like that.
Terrifying.
And like people love to watch you as well because the viewership is high and the comments are all positive, which is rare because everyone likes to talk shit on the internet.
It is really nice. And so I want to keep those types of fans. And one thing I've noticed, at least in comedy, is you kind of the fans you get are what you kind of put out there.
Sure.
There's some people that okay, I'll use this as an example because he's a legend and everyone loves him. But Dave Attell, back when he was on the show Insomniac, like he'll tell you this, the whole culture of the show was late night drinking. What are you doing after hours? So then his fans would be late night drinking. People were on after hours, and it was a rough fan base for a bit. Now he's reached such an amazing status that he's doing, like, his fans are wonderful and they get comedy. Yeah. But so it's like you kind of get out what you're putting out there.
What do you get? What do you have?
So I get a lot of families.
That's good.
It's great because I found out that I could write a clever joke on X. I've been off X for a while. I'm on Threads now. Yeah, I'm a Thread guy.
X is a fucking shit show. So I don't think.
So I'll do a clever joke, and that'll get a couple of likes, couple whatever, and then I'll just post a photo of me and the wife on a date night, and everyone will be like, "Yes!"
Oh, people love that.
Yeah.
They love like your
like
personal.
the personal.
Yeah, and like. You obviously don't do it often. I mean, you do it in some of your stand-up and stuff like that, right? You talk about your wife, which is awesome. But like I have noticed that you're not so like, you don't throw it out there all the time, right?
No, and if you look on my Instagram page now, if I ever, you want to talk about crazy fan stories?
Oh, go on.
This is the one that turned everything.
Okay.
There's a happy ending. Don't worry.
That's what she said.
Thank you. The reason why I put an emoji over my daughter's face now is because we had an incident where I was not even there. I was on the road doing something, And my wife calls me up and goes, was just at a grocery store and a woman saw me and saw the kid and went, that's Brad Williams' baby. And ran up and like tried to pick her up.
No. Oh, fuck. I would beat her ass. Sorry.
Yes.
Don't.
Yeah.
No.
So that was when we were like, oh, so don't do that anymore.
Yeah.
And I've chosen this life, so whatever consequences come of it, that's my doing.
But there's common sense here. Come on. Like,
kids didn't do that. Kid didn't choose to be famous. So
yeah. But when you do sprinkle in that family, and I think it's great that you cover her face because it can get scary. Like even just my niece and nephews, I don't have kids of my own, but like my niece and nephews, I worry about them being on social media. Or, I did have a stepdaughter with like my ex. Yeah. And he was actually really great of not showing her at all.
Yeah.
Because people can be like that. They think they know you. They think they can touch you and I don't care. You can give me a hug and stuff like that, right? But it's just like they don't have any like there's no line to them in some ways. So when it comes to your kid, you're just like I cannot imagine if that were to ever happen to me in the future and someone tried to pick up my child.
Yeah.
I would be like fucking throwing hands, dude.
And the fact that my wife didn't kill
her.
She's a
badass. Wait. Okay. We're talking about your wife right now. Okay. I am a massive fan of your wife now.
Oh.
Because before you were here, I obviously did research and found out that I actually watched part of your stand-up where you explained, like who she is. She's a fucking ninja, dude. Yeah. But she's also extremely private. So please tell us about her.
Yes. Fourth Dan black belt in Taekwondo. She has another black belt in Hapkido because as she's explained to me, Taekwondo is a scoring, kicking martial art. So then she had to get a black belt in Hapkido just so she can kill people. Yeah. She's like, there's some people that say they're a martial artist and it's like, I go to the YMCA and I say Kia. That's not her. Like,
she's like a
at one point ranked number 2 in the country in Taekwondo.
Crazy.
So yeah, I love being with someone that has that discipline because I know how hard she had to work to get there. She knows the value of hard work. Also, I'm on the road a bunch. So I like knowing if someone breaks into the house, we got 2 pit bulls and a ninja. We're fine.
Fuck yeah, dude. Hell yeah. And then you were talking about how private she is too. So you were like, she only has like a couple tens of followers.
Yeah, she's like all her social media are set to private.
I love it.
If you Google Brad Williams' wife, the photo that comes up is not her.
That's the woman in your hotel room.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, he was like, I am Brad Williams' wife. We have a lovely family. No, so I love that. I love the fact that it's tough to find out because that's the family life. Yeah, that's separate than the public persona.
Right.
And I'm totally fine with that. I like walking in the door and now no one gives a shit what jokes I've told or how many tickets I sold. I'm just husband and I'm just dad.
I'm jealous of that.
That's point.
That's what I want one day. That's very like just someone that is not on social media, doesn't care about social media, doesn't care what the fuck you do. They're just like, well, welcome home, fucking clean the dishes. You know what I mean? Like
that's what I get.
Keep you humble. No, but like I love that. And that's I feel like you need that balance too, because I've had exes that have been in the public eye and it's like what they do reflects on you and vice versa. What I do reflects on them. So it's like
sometimes ego gets involved. Oh, one person's getting a little more famous.
Right. It could be a little tricky, and
especially for the dudes because bigger egos. Anyway, I know a lot of I know that's happened a bunch to comics. They start dating each other and the woman gets a little more famous and then the guy's
you can't shit where you eat.
Yeah, and the guy's like, hey, you gonna take me on the road? The female comic's like, no.
So that causes like a rift probably. Like I've never had someone, I mean, I have had an ex within wrestling, but luckily my other ex was not in wrestling. So there was no competition there.
Yeah.
And like there was no like bring me on the road or bring me like it was never we never had that because we were in such like opposite fucking worlds.
Sure.
Which is nice. But I did have an ex where he was a wrestler and there was like the jealousy because I was doing a little bit more. Oh, I just become a champion. Like, fuck you. You know what I mean? It was like, it was an issue. And then ultimately we broke up because there's just no fucking way. And I said I would never date a wrestler again in my life. There's just no point.
I dated a comedian once, and thankfully she's no longer a comedian, so it's not. I'm not like I'm throwing her under the bus.
Is the one in jail?
No, not the one in jail. That's a different ex.
Wait, can we talk about it? Or
I'll talk about it to some degree.
Vaguely, yeah.
We all have an ex in our lives that I would say, wrecked us, like broke us down to the very bare bones.
Preach. We all know. Yeah.
Someone thankfully built us back up, and friends, family, current loved ones. So, but we all had that ex that wrecked us. The one that wrecked me was this woman. I was obsessed. I was addicted. Bailed her out of jail twice.
That's not the red flag.
Red flags. Waving.
You're like, I'm colorblind.
Yeah, recently found out that she is back in jail for over 30 years for trafficking, distributing, selling meth. So
That's just
yeah, I was
crazy.
dating Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
So now,
Dude.
So now when people say like, oh, your wife, she's not very public, I'm like, great.
Yeah.
Because that's the other side of being public is now, there's
But also they would do digging on your wife and she wants to be private too. But like you have some fucking crazy law, dude.
Yeah, comedians, wrestlers, rock stars.
Oh,
we all kind of roll in some circles, and sometimes they're not the best. And I've watched enough Dark Side of the Ring. The same people did the Dark Side of Comedy, and they did a bunch of comedians too. And they were really accurate. I know some of the people personally, and I was like, how'd they find that out?
Oh,
so,
I need to watch that. Yeah.
So I've seen enough of that to kind of know where the downfalls are. So I try to stay away from that.
Avoid it. Yeah.
Try to be
Not like me.
Yeah. The weirdest thing was like I was picking my kid up from school, and her teacher, her kindergarten teacher, was like, hey, so you just got back from whatever the heck? And I'm like, I did. How do you know that? She goes, oh, I follow you on Instagram. I'm like, don't follow me on Instagram.
Oh, it makes it weird, doesn't it?
You're a kindergarten teacher. Yeah. You should be up late at night reading child psychology studies. You shouldn't have a life. But yeah, obviously she does.
Yeah.
She's a very good person. But yeah, it's stuff like that where I try to keep the work all separate.
Talking about comedy, wrestling, all that kind of fun stuff. We have a term in wrestling. Like, for example, music has groupies.
Yes.
We have ring rats. Okay.
Ring
and
rats.
Then
I like
lot
that.
lizards for the truckers. But what is the comedy ones?
Ours is the best.
Which is it?
Chuckle fuckers.
Chuckle fuckers. That is the best one.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah. Chuckle fuckers.
So are they pretty bad then? Is it?
Yeah. There was one time back in my single days where met a very friendly lady, and we had fun, and then afterwards she kind of revealed that she had a collection, and
so you're just like Thanos. She's like Thanos. You're like about to be a
I'm
notch.
like, oh, I'm just a gem on the glove. Okay, and I'm not even a good one. So I had to like go back, and I had to like, and some of them were my friends, so I like DM'd them like, hey, random question, no context. You clean? Like, okay.
just checking.
Just curious, just trying to violate some HIPAA laws. That's fine. But yeah, that's road life, and that's one of the things that makes me very thankful to have the wife that I do. Because now when the show is done, I go back to the hotel room.
Does she travel with you sometimes though?
Not as much as we'd like. Funny, whenever I get booked in Hawaii, she always wants to go on that one.
I've never been. I really want to go.
You've never been to Hawaii?
Yeah. So can I get booked with you? Like I'll come with your wife. We'll beat some chuckle fuckers asses.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to be the name of this episode. Chuckle fuckers. Oh my God. This is great.
Saraya on one side, my wife on the other. I'm safe.
Oh, I would love it.
Yeah. But whenever we go to Hawaii, that's like a family trip.
Make the most of it.
They never want to go to Rockford, Illinois. Even though it's a great city.
Stuff.
Yeah, we're going to San Diego this weekend. There's a gig there. Great. There's a San Diego Zoo. Great. We'll take the kid, go to Legoland. Whole thing. I try to do as much family time as I can because you don't get a lot of it.
We need to come to one of your shows. Like,
please.
You're in California for the next like week or so, right?
Yeah. I got shows.
Yeah,
I'll let you know.
I would love to. Who is? Again, I did some research.
Oh, please do.
So I already know the answers.
Okay.
But I think the people need to know who is one of your biggest like icons for you and also a fan.
Oh, yeah.
And you mentioned him a little bit earlier with the leg.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the Robin Williams story where if you ever want to know what's going to be on my tombstone one day, it'll be this quote. I was doing a show in San Francisco, and this guy ran a show just north of San Francisco in Mill Valley. And he said, do you want to come do this show? It's at a place called the Throckmorton Theater. And I go, sure. And I go there. And I know that Robin lives there. He had lived in Mill Valley. So I'm doing my show. Goes well. I'm thinking, that was fun. And I go back into the green room. And when I go to the green room, freaking Robin Williams,
so fucking crazy, dude,
bursts through the door with all the energy that you believe and says, oh my God, Mr. Williams, you're like Prozac with a head.
Oh my God. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah, I'm just like, that's done. That's, if I ever get a tattoo, that'll be my tattoo.
The name of your book?
Yeah, Prozac with a head.
Yeah.
And it was so nice. Got to talk to him. The craziest part is he invited me to his show, which was the next night. And so I go, well, obviously I'll stay. I'll go. So, but he reserved seats for me. Now, Mill Valley is a very affluent area. A lot of tech people, a lot of money in that area. And there's these 2 reserved seats up front, and this is like a 150 seat theater. It is small, and it's a Robin Williams show, so it's like everyone's trying to get in,
like a secret show that he does. Yeah,
and there's 2 reserved seats. It's packed, and everyone's like, "Who the hell?
Who's this gonna be?
Who did Robin get?
Yeah.
Is Pierce Brosnan gonna come walking down, or like what?" And then it's just me going, "Hi," and everyone's just like, "Oh."
Were you as big back then?
No.
So people are really like shocked. Like,
they had no idea who I was.
Yeah,
but,
that's fucking cool though, dude.
yeah.
Like, what?
Well, I'm a fan of comedy. I love comedy. Some comedians are like, I never watch anyone. I'm like, I love watching other comedians.
Yeah.
I learn stuff. I'm impressed by what's going on. So yeah, that's my number one. Like I'm sure you had a couple of pinch me moments.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Wrestling. Well, hell, The Rock produced your damn movie.
The Rock did. He sure did. But also, fucking, I am in love with Stone Cold Steve Austin. I just think, and like, I guess, he's one of those people that everybody like is a fan of, you know what I mean? But like, he just speaks to me on like a deeper level because he was on the main roster for 4 years. I was on the main roster for 4 years. We both suffered neck injuries.
Yeah.
And his character was just so fucking like, he could stay the exact same being a heel or babyface.
Yeah.
And he was just so like, he was just a fucking bad. He still is bad. I'm sounding like he's fucking died right now, but he is a badass. He still looks exactly the same. He still acts the same. And he's like wrestling on WrestleManias, like he did that match with Kevin Owens and stuff like that. Which I love Kevin Owens too. I love him. I think like he's very similar in a way to Stone Cold.
It was so nice to see him come back and have that last match because obviously he had the last match with The Rock at Mania, but then we didn't know. We as fans didn't know that was the last time we were seeing him. So it was so good that we got to have that moment of like, okay, now we can let you know how much we freaking love you. And the thing that always gets me when I watch like a Stone Cold biography, like you said, main roster for 4 years. If you ask me how long was Stone Cold on the main roster, I'd be like, 10 years.
20 years, dude.
20 years.
Like, he made such an impact.
And you're like, you look back and go like, oh, I thought he was the dude forever. And it's like a 4 year run. So if you ever get to that point, like I'm touring like a madman. I'm going back on tour. If you want to know my dates, bradwilliamscomedy.com.
We'll put it up.
But yeah, like I gotta strike while the iron's hot. You don't know how long it's gonna go.
Yeah.
So I'd like to, before I'm back in the dingy bars and
that's not gonna happen.
Back being a cruise ship comic, not just the Chris Jericho Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea, but other cruise ships.
We did talk about it, and I want to do next year, so it's gonna be really fun.
You heard it here.
You also had a match on there.
I did. In like the main show at the end of the weekend, there's a match where Dylan runs out to interfere, and he's the referee because the referee got knocked out. He counts the 1, 2, turns on the face. Gives double birds, and now him and the bad guys, they start attacking the face, and then I run out. Yeah. And then I run out to be like, that's bullshit. And then I run out, and I just stood and like stared at Dylan, and Dylan under his breath, he's going, hold.
I love it.
I held, and the crowd starts chanting, holy shit, before we've even done anything. It's just
amazing.
2 dwarves staring at each other, and everyone's like, I'm pretty sure they're casting a spell. And then, got to give him a stunner, and then the crowd just exploded. And when that happened, when I got to the back, I was telling the guys like, oh,
that's the feeling.
I see why you do this.
Yeah, it's like a drug,
felt
dude.
fucking amazing.
Yeah, dude, the way you I'm
getting rock goosies.
Yeah.
Just talking about it again.
No, seriously, people don't understand that feeling until you actually physically walk out of that curtain. Even the curtain's still like, this is crazy, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But when you make the crowd feel something,
Yeah.
well, you also know in comedy too, like you are making them feel happy, sad, fucking like, like the chuckle fuckers are all lining up. Like you can command a crowd, right?
Thank you.
So like when it comes to wrestling, which I did see clips of it, and then I was just like, man, it feels like he's been doing this for a long time. Like you just took to it like a duck to water.
I've just watched so much of it that, if any wrestler wants me to be a valet, I don't mind it. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Anyone needs a talker. But it's just so much fun, and it's all entertainment. And I can't imagine like doing stuff in arenas that you guys do where
you're gonna be
getting there. But for a time, you have 16,000 people, 18,000 people. If you're at All In at Wembley, God knows how many that was. But just looking at you, that's it.
It's crazy.
They're not looking at a band.
Yeah.
They're not looking at a whole, they're looking at you, your opponent, maybe it's a tag match, maybe there's 4 of you. But like, that's it.
Yeah.
And you're in charge of entertaining all these people.
And you have to keep them focused on you too. That's the hard part. Is like, especially in such a big crowd like that, like everyone's having fun, everyone's drinking, blah, blah, blah. But like when you're in there too, you can't hear the crowd.
Really?
Yeah, because the stadium, like there's no roof on it. So the noise goes up and out rather than like down. I remember my first WrestleMania, it was me and AJ versus the Bellas. And I was like, they fucking think we suck. They think we suck.
Oh,
and then like once I got backstage, they were just like, no, you're a fucking idiot. You don't know how like sound works. But like they were loud, they were reactionary, like they're great. And I was like, okay, so when it comes to Wembley, you're like, I don't know if I'm doing a good job. But like when I did win the championship though, I was able to hear them. It broke the sound barrier, like that actually, that was really awesome. You're just so natural at the wrestling side of things. I want to ask you what your favorite matches of all time actually. Before we move into
got some.
Oh, go on. I'm interested because you guys, he is a wrestling fan. He's not just like a fake, a phony. He's like genuinely like loving the business.
I'm not gonna tell you like one of the ones that everyone says. I will say Mike Awesome, Masato Tanaka at ECW. Oh, what was it?
This is like
Haven?
hardcore like wrestling fandom right there.
Yeah.
Like that's
and even their one night stand match, Awesome Tanaka one night stand. That is one of my favorite parts about that match was that it was the WWE ECW one night stand, and like the WWE audience probably didn't know Mike Awesome and Masato Tanaka. They knew like they are the Rob Van Dams and the Dudleys and stuff, and they came out there and blew the damn roof off the joint, and just so many amazing moments from that match. Love that.
I'm so impressed by that choice because a lot of people, even who are the hardest of wrestling fans, probably wouldn't even.
Yeah, like you have those bunch of RVD, Jerry Lynn stuff.
Oh, Jerry Lynn. Oh, I love you, Jerry. I love that fucking guy, dude. He's amazing. He was like the modern day wrestling, but back then.
Yes.
Yeah.
And by the way, is an incredible metal singer. Have you heard him sing?
No. What? Oh, Adam, we need to take a note.
He
of that
did some karaoke on the Chris Jericho cruise where he sings like death metal.
Shut the fuck up. Is he screaming and stuff?
But he's like doing that like controlled scream.
What? I'm thinking, okay, it's like one of those hidden talents that you find out someone has and it shocks you. I don't know if do you have one of those? Can you also death metal scream?
I don't have a hidden talent. I used to be able to break dance, then I turned 40.
You break dance?
Yeah, that was how I made friends in high school. I was funny, and like the first like at dances, I would get a circle going. Dancing.
You have such crazy fucking lore, dude. Like I was actually, we were talking about it earlier before you got here. And we had said that maybe you're like a security guard at like a theme park.
Disneyland. Yeah.
What?
That's
like it's just crazy lore. You need to write a fucking book because I'm like, he did what?
Yeah, that was my first job. So I was born and raised in Orange County, California. So and I'm a dwarf, so naturally I have to work at Disneyland. That's kind of like and no, not one of the 7. Not
you get it all the time.
One of the 7. No. Yeah. My job was I was a bodyguard for the characters, so I'd walk around with them. And mostly it was fine. Every now and then a 5-year-old would get a little mouthy and you got to
give him the old.
give him a forearm shiver. All right. This is the craziest Disney story. All right.
Okay, go on.
And don't worry, I won't break your heart's freaking
No, do it. Fuck
Disney
'em.
files.
Disney did that back in the 90s. Really.
So I was being a bodyguard for Mickey Mouse one time, which is just a crazy sentence to say.
No, it is. I was trying not to fucking giggle.
And okay, so there's a time where you're out there with Mickey, and then a half hour goes by, and it's really hot outside, so you gotta take Mickey away. And fuck it, the person's hot. Okay, the person inside is hot. I'm trying to keep the magic, whatever. The person inside is hot.
They got sweaty ass crack. But you take a breather.
So we go and you have to switch out the Mickeys. There's another person who's backstage who's ready to go in the Mickey outfit. Now, what we have to do is we tell all the people, hey, we can't say Mickey's fucking hot. Let the person go, towel off, and come.
Tired.
We can't say that. So we have to improv, and we go hey, Mickey's gonna go get a quick glass of lemonade, and then he's gonna be right back out here. We'll do some more pictures and autographs, so just stay right here. And I start taking him away, and this woman comes up and goes no, one photo, and I'm like, no, he's gotta go. But she goes, just one photo, and I kind of look at her and go, hey, stay right here.
Good.
Mickey will be back in 35 seconds. Just be cool. And I start walking with Mickey away, and then she yells out, really loud, Mickey! Mickey turns. She was holding a baby.
Oh, no.
She throws the baby.
No.
She lobbed a baby. Airborne. Slow motion. Mickey just does this.
Oh, thank God. Did you
Catches
catch it?
the baby.
Oh my God, dude, that's fucking insane.
Catches
dude.
the baby.
Yeah.
She takes the photo. You can tell this was years ago because I'm doing that motion instead of that motion.
Gen Z's, you'll figure it out.
Takes the photo, grabs her baby and goes, thank you, and just wanders away.
What the fuck,
We
dude?
get backstage. Mickey, who... Once again, breaking so many rules, don't care. Mickey's usually a small woman, okay? She's usually a small woman.
You're breaking Joey's heart over
in
here.
there.
He loves Disney.
All right. And by the way, because this happened a couple times, dudes would flirt with Minnie, which was very weird because Minnie sometimes is a very small Asian man. So dudes would grab Minnie's ass, and I'm like, well, unless you've been to Thailand, you're not gonna like that. So yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
So Mickey caught the baby and then went backstage, and then the head came up and she's sobbing because she's uncontrollable, and I'm like, hey, you're good. And she's like,
You caught the baby.
She's like, but what if I didn't catch the baby? I'm like, but you did catch the baby.
Yeah.
You saved a life from that monstrous mother.
Yeah, it's an awful mother. If you're watching, you're an awful mother.
A baby. And so that was one of those stories.
How did the comedy start? Did you get what's the word? Did you get discovered, or was
Kinda.
it just really?
Yeah. I was 19 years old. I took my dad Father's Day weekend to see a show, and the comedian on stage starts making midget jokes, and the audience is laughing on one side of the room, but the audience by me knows I'm there is like,
that's not funny. That's not funny.
the comedian notices and says, why aren't you guys laughing? I was like, what? Is one of them here? And I just go, yep. And the comedian called me up on stage.
Oh, hell yeah.
And he's like, I want to talk to you, and started asking me questions. And he asked me, what do you do for a living? And I answered at the time I was working at Disneyland, and that made the audience laugh. And then I literally turned and did the joke I did earlier where I said, shut up, I'm not one of the 7. That made the audience laugh.
So that's one of the first jokes you ever told.
Literally. And it made the audience laugh. And that was the moment where I'm like, ooh,
that feels good.
This feels good.
And you're naturally just really funny. So
well, I mean, I was taught kind of to be funny. My dad, who, by the way, both my parents, average size, tall people.
Really?
Yeah, we're not all I wasn't raised in a tree. So they're tall. But my dad knew, he's like, all right, you're probably going to get some stares and some questions and some people are going to say inappropriate things to you. So my dad, literally at a very young age, and he was a defense attorney, so he was a very good talker. He would write comebacks with me. Like we'd be like
Really?
5, 6 years old, and he would write comebacks.
That's lovely.
So kids would make fun of me. I would zip back at them, and then they would know, oh, don't make fun of Brad because
he's a funny guy. Too,
he'll make you cry. So he kind of taught me. So I've been comfortable with people looking at me and saying things. So it's like if I ever do get a heckler, I almost want to look at him and be like, you dumb fuck. You don't think I've heard whatever you've said a million times? Like, you know, I'll be on stage and some guy will yell out, Lucky Charms. And I'll be like, all right, let's go after you. And then that's when they go, oh, that's not part of the show. Yeah. Yes, it is, motherfucker.
It's now, bitch. Yeah.
I don't want to. It's safe to sit in the front row of my show.
Yeah.
If you're a great audience member and you laugh and then you shut up and then you laugh and then you shut up, you're going to have a great time. Sit front row. Yeah. But if you start yelling at me and say things, I say things to you, and then it doesn't end well for you.
Well, we were just talking about before this as well about the TikTok comedians where they're like, it looks like they're somewhat encouraging the heckling. So like people are more prone to do it because they want to be in a viral video, you know? And so, but you don't like the TikTok heckling comedian stuff.
No, I mean, I've worked on these jokes a long time. I'm way funnier than you. If you're in the audience, it's why you're buying the ticket and I'm on the stage. So don't try.
How do you remember shit? Like people ask that about wrestling all the time, and then you're like, you put in some reps, you kind of figure it out, you know? Like
same thing.
Really?
So I imagine it's similar because wrestling, you have like, all right, at the beginning we're gonna do
like
this
a structure,
middle we're gonna do this, then this is the finish, this is go home, and that's I have bits that are like they're 10 minutes long, but like, okay, this is the Pornhub bit, okay? And this is all the stuff that is in there. So it's not taking out like individual lines. It's more like, all right, this is Pornhub bit, then I move on to airplane, then I go to relationship and close with whatever the hell. So that's kind of the structure, and just doing it over and over and over again.
Reps,
I've been doing it now 20 years, which is scary. But so doing that, you just kind of, those reps, becomes Tommy Davidson once described it as an unnatural naturalness, which I like.
Oh yeah,
because it's very unnatural to be on stage in front of that many people and to
it's the same with wrestling. I love that.
Expect them all to shut up and just hear you talk. That's very unnatural. But you do it so many times. I'm more comfortable on stage than I am off. I recently found out that my wife was talking to me literally last night about like, so a couple of my friends, they think like you don't like them because
you're like socially like
you're
awkward
very
in a way?
like you're quiet, and they asked me if you were angry, and I'm like, no, I'm tired.
Well, usually they say that about comedians too, as well as wrestlers. Okay. Yeah. Usually people in show business, like where we have to be larger than life. When we're at home, we don't like to really go out. We don't want to socialize anymore. Like our social battery kind of drains. But I understand where you come from. There's no malicious intent there. You're just like, listen, brother, I'm fucking tired.
I'm off.
Yeah, exactly. And they expect you to be exactly how you are on stage, right?
Yeah. If you were Paige or AEW Saraya all the time.
Oh, fuck that. No, I don't leave the house. This is why you have to come to my house
You'd
to
be
film
a
this.
monster to hang out with.
Oh,
and same with me.
And then so with your shows, obviously, like it's the same as like a wrestling show. You have multiple matches. You have multiple comedians that are opening for you.
There's a comedian, actually a special, literally just came out on YouTube today. His name is JB Ball. He's been my opener for about 4 years now.
That's nice. You're loyal to him. Like, bring him in,
he's loyal to me. It's great. He is a 6'3" black guy. So we don't.
You're so different.
Yeah. And the best part is like after a show, the only thing that's open is like a Waffle House. So we'll go to Waffle House and we walk in, and 1 a.m. Waffle House is a show every time. And we walk
just blending in, I guess.
Yeah. And we're looking around like, look at all these crazy people. And then we stop and go, oh, they're looking at us like,
what the fuck?
6'3" black guy and a midget. What the hell's going on there?
Like Arnold and Danny DeVito twins show.
Yes. Like sometimes we act like a gay couple just because I think it's funny.
Shut up.
And we it's
love
fun.
it.
It's fun. It's just it's like I
Yeah.
said, it's just the joke. But yeah, he is fantastic. And then there's a couple of comedians that kind of rotate in and out. There's a Quincy Weekly, Sarah Keller.
Oh, so you have like a bunch of people open.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to tour with my friends.
Yeah, sure. Because you're
So-
going to be with them for a while, right? And how long are you on the road for?
When do I die? That's when I'm done.
This run.
This run starts next week, and it'll. Right now, my last show is December 31st of this year.
Jesus fucking
So,
Christ,
yeah.
dude.
And then
You don't have a break. That's
Nope.
like wrestling too. You don't have breaks.
No, thankfully, I get home as much as I can.
Yeah.
It's usually like 3 or 4 days on, three or 4 days off, and then you go back on the road. But
Wow.
yeah, so it's the road life. So I'm sure you and I could talk Waffle
Hours.
Houses and truck stops and
Oh,
hotels.
I
and
bet. But we will go into the segment option if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
But we do segments, Jackass style segments, but we do have very tame segments, which we're going to do with Brad now.
Okay.
Because he does have his tour about to come up, so we're trying to take it easy on him.
Okay.
So we do have a simple one, which you can choose from, which is where we do text roulette.
Ooh.
And like we stroll through, maybe I'll pick the most famous person in your phone
Okay.
and we tell you what to text them.
Oh. Okay.
Would you do that one?
Yeah, I'll do that one.
Okay.
All right. So the most famous person in my phone.
Here we go.
All right. Well, there's Jericho. He's pretty good.
I mean, yeah.
Trey Cool, the drummer from Green Day.
Okay, let's do that. Is he gonna be like surprised that you text him?
Probably.
Okay, Trey Cool, the drummer from Green Day, you guys. All right, team, what are we gonna say? Joey, you usually have a good something of humor over here.
Tell him you had a dream about him.
Hey, bud, had a dream about you last night.
All right, I'll do that. I just said, hey, dude, I had a dream about you last night, and I just sent it, and we'll just see how that goes. Trey, I don't know if he's going to respond. Jericho will respond.
Okay, yeah.
I don't know how he has
We can
the
do
time.
Jericho too. And
All right.
just say the same thing. Hey, Chris, I had a dream about you last night.
All right, we'll do that. I'm just like, what would I do if Trey or Chris texted me this?
Yeah.
All right, I texted Chris. All right, we'll see. We'll see how that goes.
Hopefully you respond soon.
Yeah.
But
If not, I'll just be like, all right, well, text Saraya, and it's her fault.
All right, Chris, if you do get it, come on the podcast and we can get him back somehow, but in a different way.
We have a response.
Oh, yeah, wait.
Not
the parrot thing. We should do something else.
I told you Jericho would respond first.
Okay, good.
He wrote, was I naked?
Say we both were.
And then he says, what are you up to today? So maybe he's trying for a hookup. I don't know.
You're like, say, do you want to recreate this dream, bud? Meet me at my brewery.
So what are you up to today? This is when I will take the selfie. And then, here you go. Hey.
I love it. Chris gets back to you quick, huh? He loves you.
It's crazy because the guy's got 9,000 jobs. You know, he's
always busy.
Yeah, he's always busy, but yet he always gets back to me. It's nuts.
He's a good guy. He's always been an absolute diamond to everybody. Like he has the opportunity if he wants to have a bit of an ego on him, but he knows he's good. He knows he's successful, but he also knows his legend status. But he's always, like you said, if you text him, if you talk to him, he'll get back to you straight a fucking way. And you're like, Jesus Christ.
And then throws a hell of a cruise, of which
love
now
that fucking
it's
cruise.
going to sell out even more if you're saying right now that you're going to be on it.
I'm going to be on it. I don't know 100% if I'd wrestle. Maybe me and you.
Oh, shit.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Intergender?
Yeah, an agenda.
Do we do a tag or we do a one-on-one? Remember, I suck.
So do I. Okay, let's do an agenda.
Okay.
So
Who's your partner?
I will probably get Swoggle.
Oh, so
Because you guys have
Swoggle you.
heat.
Yeah.
You guys have heat.
Swoggle and you
And then
versus
who would
me.
you-
And then I need I'd probably get, what's the wrestling name? Danny. We were just talking
Harley
about.
Cameron.
Yeah, Harley Cameron.
That's my girl. Of
Yeah.
course, I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love that. I can't wait to see her in a couple of days. Thank you so much for being
Of
here.
course.
You're amazing. It was
Thanks.
so fucking easy to talk to you. You're so funny and just like, it's very easy. I would love to have you back on. And
Cool.
maybe when you're not like touring as much, we'll do something more physical.
Done. Ooh.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. I'm sorry. His wife is doing not like that, babe. She's going to come and fucking cry, kick me. Jesus. All right. Anyway, you are wonderful. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Here. All right, that's a wrap on today's episode of Rulebreakers. Huge thanks to Brad Williams for keeping it raw, hilarious, and just a little bit dangerous. From cancel culture to Disney bodyguard stories, and even a text to Trey Cool about a dream. This one had it all. Make sure to check out Brad's tour or grab a pint at Thorn Street Brewery. Follow us for more rule-breaking stories, and as always, keep doing things your way. And until next time, stay unfiltered.